Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So we are back this week with the handicap marks analysis, looking at some of those that have dropped or maybe even been put up a couple of pound or a few pound in the handicap that I think are interesting going forward. And we'll start off, this is the hurdles video, we'll start off looking at a horse who did actually go up £2. That's Arcube, who's gone up £2 after running on strongly in the handicap hurdle at Ascot. The horse has actually got some really good form, and to be fair to him, he's only probably disappointed once, and that was at Sandown on heavy going. That was heavy going. That's probably the only time that he's properly disappointed. You can see that he never shortened much in the run. He went off the 3-1. I don't know if that was favourite. Disappointed, but maybe it was just the ground caught him out, and you can actually see that a lot of the times he's not been running on heavy going. There's lots of goods here, probably suggesting he wants the better ground. Now, he ran on perfectly well at Ascot, hanging a bit as well. I thought he hung left-handed quite badly, probably suggesting to me that he wants to go the other way, which kind of would put me off a little bit for the Imperial Cup, although his form at Sandown is also good. You can see he does have a win here back in November, and also he ran, this is what he did, he finished third behind Bad and Mott Hill. That's good form. Check out this run here. He was third in the Bet365 Novices Championship final, behind Under Control and Iberico Lord. Well, I actually think Under Control should be aimed at the Imperial Cup this year to go and win that and then turn up in the county hurdle. Iberico Lord, the runner-up, has since won a Greatwood hurdle and a Betfair hurdle. Clearly that was very, very good form. Arcube finishing third, a similar run to this, probably sees the horse go very close in the Imperial Cup if Under Control doesn't turn up. That said, I kind of hope they skip that and they actually go for this race here. I say this race here, here it is, the Sussex Champion Hurdle. It's a 2-mile race at Plumpton. I think that way round will suit. And I just think it might be slightly easier to get into. Being rated just 120, Arcube is not guaranteed to get in like the Imperial Cup, but I'd be pretty confident he would get in the Sussex Champion Hurdle. So that's where I hope to see Arcube next, and I think he would go very, very close. Moving on to the next horse, now we're into those that have dropped in the handicap, and the first one we're going to talk about is Captain Morgs, who's dropped to £3 to 133. Now this is actually only a £1 higher than when winning at Cheltenham back in December 2022. Was it this race here? Yeah, when beating Brazos, Annual Invictus, Dusart well behind, Jetta Louis, etc. This was a perfectly good run, and that came off just a pound, better going off a £1 lower mark. So actually that was off 134. I'm just reading my notes that accompany this, the tweet that goes out with all of this. That was off 134. He's now down to 133, and if we actually look at his form, we can see that clearly he just didn't want this heavy going. Again, similar to Arcube, generally has been running on in races where the going has been good to soft, occasionally runs on soft, but you can see disappointed on soft, good to soft, disappointed on soft, disappointed on heavy. Doesn't want the soft ground. Where can you go with Captain Morgs then? Well, before he won at Cheltenham in December 2022, in November 2022, he went to Kempton in a Potemps qualifier and ran a really good race, finishing second to Call Me Lord. Now, obviously, Call Me Lord was 9 at the time, so he hadn't quite reached the end of his career. And you can see that Call Me Lord had some really high R figures still at the time, suggesting that the horse was still running really good races. Captain Morgs ran a really good race for second, over 2 mile 5 at Kempton. Well, there's actually a race just after Cheltenham that I think we should see Captain Morgs in then, or I hope we see Captain Morgs in. It's over 2 mile 5 at Kempton. It's a 0 to 145, and it's actually called the Reed Nicky Henderson's exclusive Univet blog. Captain Morgs is trained by Nicky Henderson. Well, there's how to win that race. Run Captain Morgs there. As long as the ground is, good to soft, good, any of those, and I think Captain Morgs can bounce back off a 133 handicap mark. Forgive him his runs on poor going, soft and heavy going, and actually his form is pretty decent still. The next horse I want to talk about in the hurdles, got 2 more in the hurdles, is First Street, who's dropped £3 on collateral form, very kind, back down to 143. Now, I was concerned when she finished third at Cheltenham. I think that was behind Ashrow Diamond. Isn't it the mare's race, wasn't it? No, it was Lossiemouth, sorry. Lossiemouth and Love Envoy. I thought that was going to ruin the handicap mark of First Street. It did initially, but now the handicapper has relented a little bit and dropped £3 on collateral. That means the horse is running here off 143, or will run in her next race, off 143. Okay, so 143 is only £1 higher than when he finished second in the county hurdle. Here, look who he got beat by. Stateman. Was never going to beat Stateman, was he? Look who was third. Colonel Mustard has since come out and, you know, the trainer's going to go for the champion hurdle this year. West Court was incredibly well handicapped coming into that race. Bally Adam was quite nicely handicapped and has shown that he just wasn't running his best races at the time. It was a good race. Back in 11th was the subsequent county hurdle winner, Favois. This was a good county hurdle, as was last year. And last year, First Street finished 11th, beaten 9 lengths, but off a £9 higher mark. If you took those £9 off and ran it again, First Street would finish in the first 4, at least, and if not, go very, very close to winning. And if this was 2023, and the horse was just £1 higher rated than when finishing second to Stateman, First Street would be near the head of the market. He's not. He's currently available at 33 to 1, and I actually think this is a massive price. This is the only place he can run. He's only been running over 2 mile. They're not going to step him up to 2 mile 5. I really can't see that. They're not going to be running First Street in a Coral Carp or a Martin Pipe. They're going to be running in the county hurdle, and I actually think 33 to 1 is a great price. I might do one of my each way handicap, each way lucky 15s, or I think somebody asked for that last year. I might have a look at seeing if I can spot a few, but First Street I think would definitely be in that. This is a massive price for a horse who's got Cheltenham form, bumped into the best handicapped horse. Maybe Languedan did that with Galopin de Champs. It would be close and up for debate in terms of who bumped into a better handicapped horse than a handicap. But yeah, I mean, that's mental form. And off a £1 higher mark, I think First Street can go very, very close in the county hurdle this year. One more horse I want to talk about in the hurdles is My Drogo, who has dropped £3 to 148. Now, interestingly, again, look at the ground conditions that the horse had been running on. Good to soft, good to soft, good, etc. Generally on good or good to soft going. They'd stayed away from when it gets soft to heavy, and yet they decided to run at Exeter on heavy going, and he pulled up. I think they were trying to get him qualified for the Temps final. It didn't work. But that was on heavy going. Clearly he wants better ground. Well, because he didn't qualify for the Temps final, he's not going to run at Cheltenham. But surely he runs at Aintree. In this race here, the Bridle Road Handicap Hurdle, it's a 3 mile handicap. They won it last year. I say they, I mean Dan Skelton and Harry Skelton with West Balboa. That time they had an improver. This time I think they've got a bit of an interesting one when dropping into handicaps at a track that he clearly likes. So he won this Grade 1 back in 2021, albeit Grade 1 by name. Look at the actual horses he beat. You'd probably say not many of these, if any, are proper Grade 1 horses. In actual fact, I would say none of them are proper Grade 1 horses. So he was more than entitled to win that. But with that in mind, at least we know he will should act at Aintree over hurdles in a 3 mile handicap. And I think My Drogo will run a huge race in the Bridle Road Handicap Hurdle if he runs there off just 148, back on better going. I think that's the big key. You can see when he won at Aintree, it was good to soft. I believe West Balboa won last year on good to soft as well. That's where I hope to see My Drogo next at Aintree. So just the 4 over hurdles. Arku, I'd love to see him in the Sussex Champion Hurdle. I don't think he'll make the Imperial Cup. If he does make the Imperial Cup, would definitely have a big chance. Captain Morg should go and win the race where Nicky Henderson and Unibet sponsor it in just after Cheltenham. Can't go to Cheltenham, or no point going to Cheltenham. First Street should definitely go to Cheltenham for that county hurdle. I think would run a huge race and is a massive price at 33 to 1, to be honest. And finally, My Drogo, I don't think will be going to Cheltenham. Back on Better Going though, in a handicap, I do think we can see a bit of a better run next time, and potentially that could be in the Aintree handicap, where we know he has some good form.